Yo, thanks for tuning in again, man. I am your host, JEFF. Welcome to my wave, man. And today's a very special one. Blessed. I know I always say we are back, but today we are back, my brother. We are back. We are back today, my brother. So, there we have our brother Thabo. And here is Miss Leticia Pinkoane. This is a very special one, man. We in Kroonpark. It is 20 past 10. Thabo, can you just get us what are we doing here? 20 past 10 with the XCLAN. We have dope artists here. Just explain, bro.
Yo,
what up? Are you good? Are you good, sir?
I'm peaceful, man. I'm peaceful. Yeah, JEFF. My man, we convene here on a camp. Checked in. I think it was 3-4 in the afternoon, and invited a few artists over to just be with each other, share the space,
for sure.
Spend 2 days together, just getting to know each other,
for sure.
creating, most importantly, and building with each other, be it the arts, be it life, and seeing how far we can take this even outside the platform of us camping over the weekend.
I see.
That's what brings us here, and yeah.
And let's just give out the creds. Who are the artists here?
Yo, shout out. You mentioned XCLAN already. XCLAN is here. We have Ocean Waves here. I have my man 7:30. Is it AM or PM? AM, 7:30 AM. We have and we have PHF production. The ladies who are handling film work and production, TV production.
But
pretty
why
much.
These artists? Why this camp and why these artists?
Oh, I guess you're saying what was the criterion? Yeah, why the artists? First and foremost, it's people I could reach, and it's people who are in town. It's people who I feel we can build with. I asked a similar question, and I used a keyword that said people who have influence in this space and time we're in this period we're in.
For sure.
So first and foremost, it's the dopeness. How dope are you? You know, I mess with that first.
For sure.
And what are you doing? You know, the relevance and influence you have, and that was what the pick was for who will be part of the first one. It's treated as a pilot. I'll use the word loosely, pilot, but we wanted to see how we can move this forward. That's why.
Sure. So Leticia, you are here and you're representing this is a wonderful team you are representing right now. And the people don't really know who Miss Leticia is and what she's on about, you know. Can you just let us through it, man, please?
Okay. It's a simple thing. We are in Mozolo, the love of my life. Everyone who knows me knows how much I love Mozolo. I was born and bred in this town. Dinuheng is like my hub.
Oh yeah?
And the reason why we are here, it is something that for me is very unconventional, unorthodox, and it is something that resonates in my inner child. You know, when you are growing up, there's always that thing that you want to achieve, but then because of the social boundaries and the social anxieties, you can't even explore. And arts and culture, it is something that I really, really love. You know, I can do the boom shaka thing. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
We can get there. We can get there. After this, we can get
No. Yo.
And having met the youth of Maukeng, having met the attitude, the need to want to explore that inner child. I resonated with that, and I said, you know what, from YEE, which is the organization that I'm the managing director and the board of director from,
Okay.
we established what we called YEE iPage. And we were looking at how do we then take the technological part of the arts and how do we make it more appealing to the youth. But then in time, as time goes, and this is how I envisage things to turn out, we wanted to look at arts and culture. The modern science and the modern technology does not give us the opportunity to be academic. We are saying South Africa is alive with opportunities, but what are those opportunities? We never explored those opportunities in the arts world.
Okay.
And what I am now saying is that let us look at the intellectual arts hub. And this is the hub where we are saying, how do we intellectualize arts? Everybody who looks at arts never looked at an academic side of it. We have seen people going to FUBU Center, people to going to arts different centers. You know, Quincy Jones went to school.
Okay, I don't know about that guy, but okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you wouldn't. So that's a simple thing that even Tupac, he had
Now-
a minimum, yes. No, let's go back. Let's go back
Way
to
back.
Run DMC.
What you know about that? How you figure? How you figure?
We
Please
want
let's.
to now say, in a context of arts, let us intellectualize it. Let us take
Word.
the life and bring comfort into people who are going into the modern arts schools and saying, it's about you. We are talking about South Africa coming live with possibilities and creating a platform of being self-worthy, of being self-employed. But these are the skills that we never tap into. In our hometown, we were talking about that, the love of my life, KK.
Okay.
This is the person that people would know her from her background of Matlabe, but we never get to acknowledge her for what
But
and who she
yeah,
is.
I don't know who she is.
You will get to know her because she is
Chasing-
one of the reasons why she was here. We are here. She
Yeah.
is part of the production team.
Yeah.
She is part of the whole boot camp. And on the basis of that, we have a family in Mosul that is known for construction, that is known for building massive houses. You know, back in the days we used to have, it will tell you how old I am. We used to have Dipontong. Dipontong was a showground better than the Rand Easter show.
Word.
Yeah.
Mozo.
No.
Oh.
I will tell you.
Okay.
Take it 2 minutes. And the person who built Dipontong, it's nothing and no one less than being the Mtimkulu's family. So these people are the construction people. But you can never expect to have a daughter coming from that family believing in arts and culture. Now, we are having her as being one of the prominent families. And we are having her as saying what? This is me. Her sister was being, please, people, we need to get to take time to understand how in this town particular where we have academics, where we have underestimated the arts and culture and the resistance that comes from our parents. Because it can never be something that comes overnight. We can never be standing here and say we have this culture, we have this arts, we have Dikeledi, we have the Marekas family. Those children can sing. I'm not good at that, but they can sing.
Word.
Yeah. Tepiso Mpotla. This is, the love of my life. Tepiso! Now you see, these are the things that coming from this heritage, as in Mosul, where we are known to be academics. That's why we fail in politics. And it takes a no one. That's what the English word says.
And no.
It takes one
No one.
to know one.
Oh.
So, because we don't know arts and culture. So what are we doing as parents? We are drawing the boundaries. We are being resistance. And it takes a lifetime. Talking for me as a parent, I took time to look at arts and culture. And I said, but then this is something that reminds me of me. This is something that I need to look into from the YEE point of view. Because in YEE, I am not representing my personality, I am not representing my family view, but I am representing the society.
Can I just ask, maybe myself as don't know too, what is YEE?
It's a youth empowerment emporium. I love that so much. It's a youth empowerment organization that looks at youth abilities, capabilities, and conceptual thinking. Because in arts, we focus on conceptual thinking. You know, people are saying that Rasta is drawing people in the worst way. I said, and every time when I try to educate people about arts, ask, who's that guy? Rasta.
Rasta.
He's an entrepreneurist. He does not do cut and paste. He will have my picture, interpret it in terms of his moods and feeling on that day, and print it based on that. So now that is what arts and culture depicts. And as people, as human beings, as society, and it takes a different form when it comes to Mosul. We have been known as being the academics. We had the Joint Matriculation Board by Ntate Stilwane when no one in South Africa had an institution that has a Joint Matriculation Board. You know, when my daughter completed...
Just to have that.
Yeah.
Just to have that.
Yes.
Come on.
that is a Cambridge and Harvard matriculation. Is what is now called grade 13. And we had that
recognized
in our high schools. And Dr. Verwoerd, you know the apartheid guy? Yeah, that one.
That one.
He came here. He came here. He landed.
in acknowledgement.
He wanted to see Dr. Kung. Said, who's this black guy? Who's this black guy? So now you need to understand at a social context the challenges that we have to acknowledge arts, to understand that our children have this skill and they have the potential, while we are still enforcing them to become academics.
Wait.
And it takes a different turn altogether if you look at how we live. Because the society of today, we are saying you have to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, there's an element of entrepreneur that 90% of people are failing to understand. It's called time and sweat and knowledge. You can never be an entrepreneur if you don't have those three things.
Can you just repeat them again? Just repeat them again.
What did I say?
Time, sweat, and knowledge.
Come on.
You know, in a business plan, what is it called?
SWOT analysis. Or
Business acumen.
Oh.
When
So these are the building blocks.
Yes. When you do your business plan, the bank will always ask you, how much time are you spending in your business? Then you'll try to say, 5 hours. Then I said, so what's your business acumen? Then the business guy across the table becomes academic. Then you'll say, what's your business acumen? You can't explain that. And in an arts, because you are doing, you are expressing yourself, you are taking your knowledge and your skill, and you are putting yourself out there. So what do you have? 90% of the business acumen.
Sure.
That's all you have?
Time, sweat, and knowledge.
Yes.
That's all you need.
So we got this.
You got this.
So you got this. Yeah, you got this, yo. Yeah, you got this.
We have to teach our artists
Where are the kids at? Why aren't they listening?
there. They're here.
Oh,
I was running a program with Maokeng Arts Forum. I'm saying you need to have a resilience. You know what's the difference between us and them? It's not the right word, but it's the word that is unspoken. Ne? People who grew up in these conventional families, they are taught how to become what they should be. They have study times, they sit in the lounge, they talk this language, they are taught grooming and deportment. That's what it used to be called. They are taught how to observe and have emotional intelligence. That's why you'll never find any of the children from these families being an emotional outburst. Me, I've been, because I'm the youngest, so I was allowed to get away with everything. So now, people who are brought up in this environment, they are taught certain social skills that other people don't have. Now you find yourself in an environment where you are trying to fit in. You know what who said to who in Johannesburg when who was failing?
Yeah?
When Casper moved from, did you get the narrative, ne?
Okay, sure,
I missed it.
Yes, thank you.
Who said
when Casper moved to Johannesburg, and he was trying to belong, ne? Dallas said, this is my hometown. I grew up in this town. My father was taking me around. I know everybody. You know that, like that?
I know
Yeah.
this, yeah.
And I'm just trying to be diplomatic because he went an extra mile. And that is the adversity that we have to teach our children. Hence, we are saying, learn to be resilient. Learn to understand that tomorrow is a new day. You have the skill. You don't have to fight adversities. Embrace your skill and move along with it. Because you come into a territory and an environment where people are taught how to be like that. Dallas walks into a restaurant, everybody calls him by his father's name. You see? Now you are Leticia Pinkoane and you want to have a show. And people are like, who are you? Me, I go to a public hospital. I walk into that door. I don't stand in a queue. You know why?
Why?
My cousin is a doctor.
Wait.
My mother has PhDs. I have sisters who are nurses and cousins and everything. So why? It's my field.
Oh, for sure.
And whenever I go to Katlehong, Dr. Mukhari's hospital, I just slide
Through.
You see? Because why? That is where my family belong. So
currency.
now I can never go into a different environment if I don't have resilience, if I don't have the skill. And that's where the three elements comes in. And how many of our youth are willing to go an extra mile? Because we are in an environment where we want them to get out of their cocoon. But as parents, what are we doing? We are failing our children. It starts from primary. The other parents, they take half days, they accompany their children to what we call a stupid arts day. Because I don't believe it's something like, it's a stupid arts day. It's
What's
dragging.
that? You don't know that. Our parents don't. Who knows that shit? Who knows that? No one can take us to that.
Yo.
No one knows that.
So now, what does it take for a parent to take their children to an arts day, to support their stupid arts
Day.
design? It starts with an exhibition and saying, this is what I want my child to have. And you know what even becomes worse? When we get involved, we do it for them. I remember I did a dinosaur. I love T-Rex. So I did the T-Rex thing, and I was saying to my daughter, no, you can't do this. And she was like, no, Ma, I want to do Barbie. But did I listen? No, I did the T-Rex. And on an exhibition there, she just did this. My mother will explain.
Either way.
Then there were these two people. I'm sitting there, it's on a Sunday, and I'm like, what it is that we need to do to change our thinking in Mozambique. Then these two people, they come and they say, Mother, we just went to this arts exhibition, and I was like, oh, please, arts exhibition, what is happening there? You see, I myself could not even be convinced that there's an arts thing that happened. No? And there is that skill that needs to be developed and tapped into. So now I go and I'm listening to these people. You see my face. Like, this is how I...
Okay.
my friend Max, who is one of my deputy directors at YE, said, you must listen to this. So now this guy is rapping, and I'm like, this is not dope. So now I'm doing what? I'm reversing. I'm remembering my inner child. I'm like, this is not dope.
What?
This guy is not rapping. No. Rap is supposed to be an educational and a psycho-educational platform. So can we have this guy come in and just do an impromptu rap? Then he comes in with a bunch of guys. I said, no. I remembered what Steve Harvey said in one of his shows. Says you go to a rap festival and everybody's saying jump and somebody's saying ho, ha. I said jump. You get confused, and I said, nah, I'm not going to be confused. I'm not Steve Harvey. I want to see who's the rapper, who's the MC. I call in the rapper. He comes in and there he goes. I am telling you, he threw one flow that was so dope. And I said, okay, fine. So that means there are people who still do this. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. But then I don't know how. I remember people who used to run, you know, the underground rap?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah. What do you know about them?
Is it a clique? Is it a crew underground rap? Is it a clique, or is it just underground raps?
It's underground rap.
Ah, yeah. I
The
do
scene.
know the underground.
The scene.
I do know the underground at least. That's what I know at least. But, yeah, I do know that.
Look at me looking at you. You don't know it.
I do.
No!
Okay, what's underground rap?
Okay, when rap came into the scene, there was things that were not recorded, but they were the street rap.
Oh,
that is
okay.
where trap emanated. So before there was rap, there was trap.
Oh, okay.
And this is what was called, when the Sounds of Philadelphia came in, they used to call it hip-hop. But then it was not hip-hop. They just wanted to commercialize it. But it was the real thing, where they would tell you about the social, economic situations that they are living in, and then what it is that they would encourage youth to do. So this was becoming a sort of the social centers where people go, and then there would be competitions. And at some point in time, Run DMC and Russell tried to bring that back into high schools, where they would have competitions and having lessons and everything. But the challenge that we are having today, and I wish our youth could listen to us, is the need to want to get rich quick.
Okay.
But they're not trying. 50 Cent says, get rich quick or die trying. So they're not trying. How do you get to be quick richer when you're not trying?
Resources, but...
No, it's not about resources.
Here in Kroonstad we are dead.
No, it's not about resources.
There's no knowledge.
Let me tell you what I can do. Let's forget the knowledge.
Okay.
It comes to intellectual. I can stand in the corner and I can rap. And people will come and listen to my shit. You know why? Excuse my French. You know why? It comes with the name.
Whoa.
Okay. But that's not how we do it in here. That's not how we
Listen to what she say.
It comes
With the name. But because they are not willing to take a risk to say, I can do this for free. You know, our post office, Dituro is here with me. He's one of our directors. I said, I want to take that post office and turn it into a hilo.
a what?
A hilo. A hilo. Right. Whatever that thing is called, man. Hey, they will know it. They belong in that world. Yeah, they will know it.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you have me standing in the center. This time, né? The people who own that place they will be there in the next 15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
Then I have that. So I have a projector, I have the sun, the lights. Then I start rapping. You know how many people will come and listen to me through that 15 minutes dope trap? Who's willing to do that? Everybody wants to get paid.
My nigga, who's willing to do that, my nigga? Just one, your support.
You see?
Yeah,
so we need to change the culture.
But I feel like we advantaged so much. Our parents gave us a lot to go there. I think about like my parents would not like me standing there and doing whatever I think I'm doing there. I promise they'll kick me out in a minute. So I don't think these niggas are willing to do it because of that. Now they are comfortable in their own space. Now there's hunger and there's comfortability, and this is what we have in Kroonstad. We have talent and comfortability, and I think that's.
Let's define hunger.
Hunger is you having a talent and wanting to make a success out of the talent, and there's nothing you want. You just want to make success out of this. That's hunger. Right?
But then, how do you say you want to make a success when you want to be a commoner? You want to do common things that everyone is doing? How are you going to define success? I'd rather be a princess standing alone than being a commoner.
Okay, these are facts. We are really bad. That is a fact.
So, my question is, at what point in Mozo are we going to go an extra mile of saying we need people to see us as artists?
But
we need
people
like to see us.
You guys are here to actually show us that.
I'll provide the platform.
That's the case.
How many can we have to do the hilo? I've invested so much in Tsepang and Wesley. And I want that has always been my dream. The post office is a perfect place to do that. Sure. Because it is boundary. It's boundaries. It's like your what do we call it? Your empty castle.
For sure.
So you put that in the center, and then it. You know, when we were growing up, we used to have that thing that is called Spitnet, and we will all stand outside at the same time and watch the Spitnet with its colors and everything.
Spitnet, please.
Going to Rancho, those lights.
Oh, the club.
No, not the club, the lights. Yeah, you okay. You'd have a Spitnet. It's like a jet.
Okay.
Then it goes.
Yeah, she went like.
Yeah.
Some like
no.
the club.
Then it goes, and then the Spitnet will go and fly. Ne? Then the first time I saw the perfect effect of a Spitnet was at the Rancho. So they would. I was not even aware that the Spitnet is a flight jet. So now you have it going through. Then you have those lights from the ground reflecting on it, and then they are going like this. So now when you have that thing, high, whatever,
yeah,
then you have that in the middle of that open shell. Now, on the surroundings, you have those lights going like this. Then whoever is performing it standing in the middle of there. So now you have the light effects attracting this person. You have mobile speakers.
Doing the rounds around the CBD.
Yes. No, it's not the CBD. It's our post office they banned. So they don't know how to use it after they banned it. So I'm saying,
Okay.
let's capture the moment.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
So now, instead of having our artists in a comfortable zone, so what are we doing? We are taking them out of the comfort zone where they expect to get paid. We are saying, go an extra mile. So we are creating a culture of resilience. We are saying, if it is something that you love, the three, ne?
Knowledge, time, effort. Ne?
Yeah. So now what you're doing, you're putting that into practice. So what do you have? Free audience, free coverage, free following. Can we have one of your artists taking that stand? I will provide the resources. It's the lights, you can rent them. It's 150 a day, 4 lights, different colors. You know, you'd see rent show from a mile away because of those lights. And you'd know there's a rent show.
Should I jump onto the opportunity?
Yeah, man. I mean, this time you might as well. You might as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Enough said.
No, enough
I'm
said.
here.
Enough said. Enough said.
We doing this.
Doing what?
The light thing.
What's the light thing?
The post office.
The post
What's the
office.
post office?
The picnic thing.
No, what's the spit move? No, what thing?
The standing out thing.
What thing now?
That one.
What one? No, guys, you cannot do this. No, you can give it a name. We are on podcast. Give it a name. Artists are supposed to be spontaneous people. Give it a name so that when we do it, people know.
Oh, yeah. And
So we are going to live here without it having a name.
okay, we will think about a name.
No, it's not about thinking. Artists don't think.
Okay, artists, come on.
Do you think Uri, that guy called
A name?
the Kardashian guy?
Yeah.
Who's the Kardashian guy? Kanye.
Yeah, can
Yeah, do you think he thinks?
That's me, I'm Kanye.
Can we be spontaneous? Kanye can be very spontaneous. That's why they say he has a bipolar, because he doesn't prescribe to anything that is a norm.
Nah, for sure, for sure. So now I'm getting a sense of you and the ladies you are representing. Now you came down to Kroonstad. I don't know where from.
No, I'm here.
You are here, and
This is the love of my life. I've always been here.
so now they are here too as a team, surely.
Yes.
And now you're on a mission to say, are you on a mission of doing something Kroonstad? Because I know I've heard great things about the ladies, like great things only since from 9 o'clock till now. That they're okay from that guy. You know.
Gentlemen want to be acknowledged.
Okay, yeah, my guy. So I've heard great things. I've heard they come from Kroonstad and they've done a lot.
No, but then Kroonstad is not in the map. It's Mosol.
Mozero, hello.
Mozolo.
Recognize.
So they've done a lot. Can you just mention a couple of things they've done? And people from Kroonstad here. Like big projects, can you?
No, I cannot. But if I start talking, I won't stop. You know I get paid to talk.
How much you got, son?
So now we have our beloved KK, as I've said. You know she won an award. An international one.
Eva, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yo.
So we need to acknowledge that.
Okay,
Ne?
okay.
And then we have Kata, my man, from BOP.
Hey, yo.
In Cape Town. Kata, my love. You know I love you. Yeah.
Okay.
And Kata is one of the most talented rappers. Ne? Then we have Tepang. That's what they call him. And I call her Tepang. And I've always been sad. And every other time when I say Tsipang, and she's like, Ma, my name is Tsipang. And I'm like, no, understand the context of Tsipang. Grounded. Ne? Like being there, like making a mark. And that is what I saw in her, and that is what I want to see. And now we have our youngsters who are DJs and rappers, and you didn't mention the name. You know them.
Ooh,
The ones that you were talking about when we opened.
XCLAN.
Excellent. Yeah, I do know these. These. Yeah.
And who's the other one? This is the
Ocean Waves.
No, I know them. I just want to know how much you know about what you're doing.
We have Cool Doja. We have
And they have been to Izani,
7:30.
Yes, we have a beautiful lounge in Mozolo that gives youngsters an opportunity to go into rap. We are not a rap. What do I say? How do I say this diplomatically? We are not a rap inclined environment. So now they are bringing in a new culture. You know, when we were growing up, we were told that rap is not for... We are the Quincy Jones style. When Quincy Jones did not like Tupac, saying Tupac, you cannot read. When you sing, and they must have a melody, and they must have a word, and there must be a message. Yeah. So now Tupac is what these guys are bringing to the community of Mosul. Unconventional, unscripted. And on top of that, we also have a MAF, which is Maokeng Arts Forum. I'm telling you, the ladies can kill it. You know, sometimes I went to their Women's Day thingy, and I am telling you, I forgot the training that I was supposed to do there. You know, when you're sitting there and you forget, why am I here? And I got to be taken in a trance. The ladies can drop a line. They can take you to another time and space, and I'm telling you, it was wonderful. So my biggest urging and requirement to parents in Mosul, it's two things.
Please look in the camera.
Let us be there with our children. Let us go with them, even if we don't know what they're doing. Let us show up.
Man. But why are you so cool? Do you listen to hip hop?
Yo, what you talking about?
I don't get this.
Yo.
You're so cool. Hey. Can you just be my stepmother from today? Man, nah, I cannot. But but how was life for you growing up in Kroonstad till now? Do you see any growth in whatever you're interested in now, arts and everything? Do you see any growth? Are we actually please going somewhere?
Yes, we are going somewhere. Our children have learned so much. They have ventured on their own. Hence, I was asking the parents that we should show more. And I'm talking this from a social perspective. I normally see how our children are trying so much. You know, between Dinoheng and Boadi, there's an open space. They have pop-up artists there. And if you can just take time to go there and see, they remind me of what when we were growing up. Oh, you asked me if I've listened to hip-hop.
Yeah,
yes,
but I'm guessing you listen to hip hop.
Yeah, before hip hop was hip hop, ne? I used to listen to SR. That was a cross-border radio. It was in Transkei. So in South Africa, we were not allowed to listen to that. My number one. My number one. It's a little cool J.
What?
Telling you. Ladies love.
You don't know Ladies Love Cool, dog?
I don't know that guy. It's fine.
Yo.
Just stay on board. Guys. Just stay on board. It's you.
The Fresh Prince of BelAir came after, and he was not the conventional person. The person who made the radio, not the radio, the label for Def Jam.
Russell.
No, that made Russell, because Russell discovered him at the show in high school.
Oh.
So now he is the guy who made Russell to say, I want to start a radio because there's talent out there. And that is what I want to see. I want to see a South African starting a label, even if it's not a recording label, but to manage our young stars, to say, we have a talent, and this is a label that will be focusing on managing these young stars.
Yeah, I get you. But what's your favorite hip-hop track?
Nah, I can't. Nah, I refuse.
Yeah, no.
Nah, I refuse.
That one.
Nah, I refuse. No, it's my kind of song that I play to. You know, we were talking about what are the things that you do when you are rehearsing, and it's that song. So it's I cannot tell everyone the song that I listen to that brings out the best in me. So it's my secret weapon. Yeah, so no ways. No ways. No ways.
Come on. What is that song?
Everybody has their secret.
But a song?
Yeah.
Come on. You need that.
Do you know what Tupac used to play? No, not Tupac. Biggie used to play before he went on stage.
What did you used to play?
It was not anything like a rap or anything like black music. But has he ever disclosed that?
Okay. Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
But I know he was that rock and roll artist thing, the Rolling Stone. He loved the Rolling Stone. So now you want to? No, I can't. I refuse.
He wants to know the juice.
No,
what you got? Oh, the sauce. Is it the sauce or the juice?
The sauce.
You want to know the
piece of the sauce.
ingredient in the sauce? Nah, I can't. I refuse. Yes, thank you.
I get
Food
so.
will taste nice, but you don't have to know what's in it.
Thabo,
What?
Just know it's marang.
Thabo, we are here, brother, man.
Yeah.
What's the favorite moment for you, my brother? Like, the outstanding moment from now. Okay, maybe it's not tomorrow yet, but at least, what did you enjoy about this camp?
I can't sing aloud one moment.
It's like this.
I cannot. It's like this and like that and it's like. Okay, can you be my stepmom as well for like 2 minutes?
Come on, no.
Hey, yo, let's battle it out. Bar for bar, son. Yo.
You can go 5 bars. You can go.
Alright.
The mom will decide. It's fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
You don't stay in Ward 4 or Ward 5 in Dinuheng, ne?
I still want 3 in Westpark.
Now you're disputed.
I think I'm Ward 8.
Now you're excluded. So you
Why the political?
No, it's not a political. It's
reference?
a geographic location because that is where I found the passion and the joy of crossing boundaries.
Between Ward 4 and 5.
I'm telling you, the people from those 2 wards, they will make you to. You know when people say, I'm going to
Dinuheng. What she does, dog, shit. Okay, I'm listening, ma. I'm listening.
When someone says, "Get Dinuheng,"
Jasnang.
I born and that. There's a lifestyle. There's a community.
True.
There's an environment that brings in the origination of Mozol. And this is what people don't understand. They say people from Dinuheng are not people from Mozol. And I go there, and the people who are calling me mother, who get excited to see me, are the people that I grew up with. So, for me, Dinuheng is reincarnation of Mozol.
What?
Yeah. Because these are the people who are coming from Seiso, Pumulong, location, old location, Marabastadne. So now they are mothers, they are fathers. So now they are living their best life.
The essence.
Yeah, I'm a mother, I have my children, I have my house, I'm fine.
Nice.
Because these are the people that we have been saying, we will see what happens to you when you grow up.
Oh.
So if I had stayed here longer, I would be staying in Dunoheng with my children. And everybody thinks, oh, Dunoheng is a lost city. It is not a lost city. It is where things are happening.
But it has that stigma.
No, but that is not. No, Imagine coming to my house. What are you going to find?
Okay, maybe.
No. Imagine coming. Let's start there. Imagine coming to my house. The freedom, the liberty, the boundaries.
Okay.
So now 90% of the people that I went to high school with, they stay in Dunohe. They have their children. Their children are mid-teenagers, so they have no obligations. They have. They're living their dream.
Nice.
So now we are saying Dunoheng is no man's land. Dunoheng is not a no man's land. It's where everybody lives their dream. I would be living in Dunoheng if I stayed in this town. Because that is where the new sites came out. That is where, and the wonderful thing about the Dunoheng, it's giving us the integration that we have always wanted. We have always been saying we don't want selection park, Pumulong, we want an integration. Dunoheng is that integration. I built my beautiful house next to an RDP. My children play with the children from the RDP. Whenever I want to teach my children a social culture, I punish them. I say we are going to Dunoheng. And we spend the whole day there, in the dust, in the midst of everything. And then they come back and they say, ma, no, Dunoheng.
Can I patch in there? I feel we are still within the same layout of the apartheid spatial planning. You know, I don't see what you're seeing in Dunoheng. It's the same layout of how the townships were planned. I don't see integration in that. We are just confined within this, and in
Dunoheng.
In everywhere. I'm using that as a as a reference.
All right.
Integration that you mentioned.
Okay.
You know, I don't see integration in that. We are still functioning within what was planned for us to operate in, and it's not integration. We are confined to what has already been there, and there's no real change. That's what I see. Okay. Yeah.
Look at Dunoheng from a different angle. It's a boundary breaker. That's what I call it.
A boundary breaker.
There's this middle class in Dunoheng that is very hidden. Hence I'm saying, if I had stayed long, you know, there was a time when I wanted, and even now, I wanted Max to move to Gelekvat so that I can buy his house in Dunoheng, only to find it's not his house, he was renting it.
Okay.
Next
from your program?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is my deputy director. So now in Dunoheng, you can buy a site and build a house.
Okay.
There's an RDP section. There's where people can buy and build. In the township, where have you had a place where you can buy a site and build?
Yet we are buying sites which have been planned 20, 30, 40 years ago. The earth sizes are still this tiny.
I want a tiny earth.
Why?
Because I want my children to live in a place that is integrated. You know what makes our children not to go to the next door neighbor?
What?
It's those big yards. I have a swimming pool. I have a lawn. My children don't see the need to go to next door to play.
You know where I'm coming from. I love where we are taking this. I'm a public servant. I work for the local municipality. And the office that I'm working in, I find complaints that break my heart. You find people bickering over mang ojeletse mang seta by 50 millimeters.
I love those.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And it contradicts the truth that you are mentioning. It's a truth. It's innate. However, we are so damaged here and here that the divide and conquer techniques are working so efficiently.
Okay. Now let's go back to Dinwei.
Yes.
Yeah? We are talking the principles of divide and conquer. We are talking about
Integration.
the side of... No, before we get there.
Okay.
We have to define the problem. We are talking about people who are saying, my side has been devoured by this one. And I'm saying, okay, fine. You snooze, you lose. The municipality people came. They were defining the boundaries. Where were you? So I stole part of your yard. But that's me. No, wait.
Okay.
That's me. It's survival of the fittest.
Okay, all right.
Which is the concept of us being human. It's not about culture. It's not about color. It's about us being human. So now let's take a spatial development plan for Dinwei. Ne? Hence I'm saying it's a perfect integration. You go into the main road. Ne? This side, it's site and services. This side is RDP. They go to the same school. Ne? There's integration there.
Where?
In Dinwei. You go to, I'm talking about what I know. You go to Mauke. That's the nearest primary school. I have a program that I'm running there of Read and Rise.
Okay.
Now, you go to Bigemisetsu. It's a boundary school. You have the Dinwei community coming this way. You have the Khalekvas coming this way. You know the Dinwei school when they leave the yard. It's like somebody blew a whistle. And they all go. You should look at that, especially on a Friday. They all go. Ne? The Dinwei it's a community. That is why for them they never say Haluna Hunale Ntlekgolo. Whenever you attack one of them, they say attack a Dinwei.
Wait.
So it is that integration that I'm saying the moral ground of Dinwei gives us the opportunity as Batwa Mukaka, as Batwa Mozo, to integrate. You know, before there was a mall. I'm a researcher by profession in another life.
Okay.
So I used to sit there because I wanted to understand what makes Dinwei tick. Because I wanted to find a platform where I can drive my programs.
Okay.
So 2 o'clock, all the pubs and all the taverns in Mosolo, they close. Even if they are not closed, it's human element, we get tired. So I know that from experience. Now, everybody goes home. You know, 90% of the people that comes to the location to party and to have fun are from Dinwei. And they don't leave each other behind.
What?
Yeah, they all go. I am telling you, they will all hold each other's hand. They're like, Chomi hurry. Chomi hurry. What's up? And they all go. And you know, you sit on that small tail road, you watch them cross the road.
So may you saying
until the last one goes.
the sense of community.
Doing it to community
is what we should
they're united.
learn.
Yeah.
from Dinwe.
And arts and culture is what drives Dinwe. Hence I'm saying, look at the activities that happens in Dinwe. They are all having a simple foundation, arts and culture. In Pumulong we have Bukamoso arts and culture. I don't know what happened to it. It's not making it. It was supposed to be bringing in this youth.
It's still alive.
But but then it's not about the center. It's about the youth
Using the space.
in that neighborhood, using the space. Then you go to Maf, because it's closer to Dunuhin. They just cross the street and they make that center. You know when they say South Africa is alive with opportunities, I say Mozo. It's alive with opportunities.
Just saying, man.
You should see them. You should see them when they cross that road and when they go back. You know when they're saying, I'm shaking but I'm not cold? That's the goosebumps and the shake that I get when I talk about Dinwe. Dinwe is a place.
Shout out to Dinwe, man. Shout out to Dinwe, yo. Shout out to Dinwe, yo. You know, and yeah, maybe a lot of people did not know about, because this guy is scared of Dinwe. This guy will never walk in.
Real talk.
This guy, Papa on this one.
I walked in Dinwe. You know the last time there was this dust storm in Dinwe? I was in the middle of that. I don't drive, and it's a personal choice, so I use public transport. I was in the Dinwe. You know, I got off at the corner, the 15, where there's that green tuck shop. Then I was trying to get to a friend's house, like Nikia Hamex. That's where I used to hang out. And now I don't go to his house. Max, I am sorry, my beloved friend. You and Joyce, I love you so much. But now, Alisa Dula Dinwe, Max. There, I said it.
So back to Dinwe.
Yeah, I can't go to Dinwe, yo.
Now they're saying in Kalekbat and they're saying, but then you don't come visit us. So, but then your house doesn't have the vibe.
Yeah.
Shoo.
And it's the same vibe, I guess, I get from Maravastad. You know, I used to walk around there and get inspired. Whenever I felt like I needed to write from here, well, I always write from here, but when I needed to trigger it and really feed off of the people, Maravastad was my stop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that. I think what she's explaining about Dinwe, and how I love how they put it, that those who used to be told Retabona little fella guy or Retabona little ba in grew out of that and migrated to Dinwe, and they made it happen.
For sure.
And it's the essence and the history from these communities is what we should be building on. Kamozol. And as she translates it, that's the arts and culture. They're true to form. They've kept the essence, and that's where the source is.
For sure.
In the language,
That's good screws. You know.
I think that's a message we should be taking from what she's been sharing from us. Going back to the basics.
Yeah. So, Leticia,
Yes, sir.
in a nutshell, what do you think is the way forward? From now until we remake it in the arts and culture department.
We made it.
What?
Shoo!
We're still planning.
Shoo. Okay. He just fill us in then. Because we don't know. Just fill us in,
We have
please.
440 subscribers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plan is to look more into context into this podcast. So we need to have a sort of a calendar with the activities of what we are saying on which podcast, so that people will have time to say, I want to listen to that podcast and have a sort of a link so that we can be able to attract more listeners. And also create a platform where people can record a platform. And this is a task for Didiro and I'm thinking. Yeah, Didiro and Zipang to record these podcasts and make them educational, because we have talent that is uncultured, that is uncultivated. So we need to make this podcast more educational so that they are aspiring. And also looking at how do we have a sort of a 15-minute clip in a podcast to say, today we are talking about photography. Then Tsipang, what have you learned? How did you end up being part of Big Fish? Now they become more educational. What I have picked up is that everybody has a talent, but we just need to dig in deeper into that talent. So if we have this podcast focusing on that, then it becomes easier for them to know that I am not alone. One another thing that I have learned that I would like us to focus more is on introvert. Artists are introverts, and they never get to come out until somebody says, "Yo, sing for me." So how do we then tap into that hidden skill of providing a platform? Like the example that I was making of a post office, it's a platform, it's there, it does not have boundaries. So how do we enlarge those platforms so that they are able to have an opportunity to explore? Things like open mic. I love DJ Cassidy. Pass the mic. Yeah. To have things like that, it's impromptu.
For sure.
Yes, you just play a song and you just say, pass the mic. That is how talent is discovered. So if we have more of those events, then we will be able to discover those hidden talents.
I hope you guys are coming with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what are you hoping for the next session, for the next camp?
Well, first we need to reach out to more artists, get a bigger team involved in the next one. And I shared yesterday when someone asked a similar question that I want us to stretch our minds so far that the next one could possibly be in Ethiopia. Why not?
For sure.
20 people just jet off to another country and mingle with the artists there and be on a 3-day stay where they create, 2 years later we go to Tibet. 4 years later we are in Brazil. So that's how big I would feel that we can stretch the camp and plant seeds everywhere. That
for sure.
It just keeps sprouting wherever we are.
Ma'am, thank you again for the chat. Thank you. It's been a great hour with you guys.
Hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour.
Word.
Yeah, for sure.
Time flies.
Time flies, bro. Time flies, my God. So I really thank you. I thank the ladies. I thank the musicians. This is I hope this thing just grows, bro. This is one of the first in Kroonstad. This is one of the first. This is unseen.
Yeah,
that's all we need. I think unseen things. I see, and I have high hopes from my lady here and the team. I have high hopes from now on, man.
Word.
Yeah, for sure. Keep on doing your thing.
Will do, man. Thank you.
Yeah, meet us at the post office. What you say next time, Mike? You're meeting us at the post office.
So you shooting at the post office?
Yeah, for sure. The lights. What you on about, bro?
We on.
Yeah, we on. So a shout out to the audience. You guys have been a great vibe. Thanks for the good hour, man. Yeah. Thanks for the surfers. Thanks for everybody. Yo, from Thabo and the lady Leticia, your host JEFF. We love you, man. We are out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Catch me on my block, filling up a rocket, nigga, aiming at the stars. Watch a nigga walk it, nigga, fuck the sneakers. 100 million in my thoughts, everywhere I be, dog. Drawn in my way, came with a flood.